Hi, this is Mrs. Mason reading Because of Mr. Terupt by Buyea, continuing Part 1, page 75. December. Peter. Last month Mr. T told us we had to read some stupid book and go spend time with the retards. That's what I thought at first anyways. That's what I had always thought. The collaborative classroom was where the retards went to school. I guess it was James who made me change my mind. I mean, the Summer of the Swans was okay, sort of. But the collaborative classroom wasn't what I thought at all. The kids were actually pretty cool, especially James. If something spilled on the floor, or if there was a bunch of objects spread out on the table, he could tell you how many there were just by looking at them. I mean it. He could tell you immediately. No counting required. No matter how many there were. 312 forks or 813 Legos. He always got it right. And James is kind of cool to hang out with. He gave me low fives, not high fives, because eye contact was tough for him. And we played games. I liked going to see him. So I liked Mr. T's next idea. He never ran out of ideas. Okay guys, here's the deal, he told us in December. We're going to have a holiday party like every other class, but it's going to be different. Of course, I blurted out, that's no surprise. I do that sometimes, open my mouth before thinking. A lot of times, actually. Everybody, even Mr. T, cracked a smile, because I was right. You'll form small groups and work to create a center focused on a certain holiday. It might be Christmas, Ramadan, Kwanzaa, or Hanukkah. Mr. T kept going with the directions, but I didn't catch most of it. I was thinking. Then I did that blurt-out thing again. Mr. T, can we invite James and his friends to our party? Everyone was quiet and looked at me. Then Jessica said, "That's a great idea." And the rest of the class agreed. Mr. T had a smile stretched across his face. He just nodded. And I thought I saw him wipe at his eyes. I don't know why he did that, though. Jessica, Act 4, Scene 1. I chose Ramadan as my holiday. I wanted to research something I knew very little about. I ended up in a group with Anna, Danielle, Jeffrey, and Alexia. Alexia wanted to be with Katie, Wendy, Natalie, and Heather, but Mr. Terupt didn't go for that. If he was looking for trouble, he got it. Our task was clear. When Mr. Terupt announced the project, he said, "Your centers will need to include a research component, a game, an arts and crafts activity, and food. Your center will need to operate all by itself because you'll be visiting the other centers when people come to visit yours." My group started talking about who could do what. But Alexia didn't let that go on for too long. Like, "You need to do the research, Jessica, 'cause, you're the smartest. Anna's too stupid to read that stuff." Anna stared at the floor. She used to do a lot of that, but not as much these days. It wasn't just her head that went down this time. Her entire body sagged after Alexia's nasty comment. Alexia looked at Jeffrey next, but she didn't have the nerve to say anything. Then she smiled at me and Danielle. She got nothing from return from me, but I could see Danielle half smiling. Jeffrey and I collaborated on the research, while Anna and Danielle were in charge of designing the arts and crafts activity. I wanted to work with Jeffrey. I had shared my secret with him, and he needed another chance to share his with me. Anna and Danielle had done fine together with the plants, so I knew they'd work well together this time. Plus, I hoped Danielle would become friends with Anna, despite her grandmother's warnings. Alexia named herself as our group manager. According to her, she was responsible for overseeing all of our work. Or as she put it, I'll just watch and make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. I'll be like our manager. I think she meant boss. We went along with Alexia's grand plan, because it was easier not to have her involved in our tasks. But that wasn't good enough for Alexia. No, she tried her best to get everyone mad at each other. That's what she is all about. Act 4, Scene 2. One day during project time, I was meeting with Jeffrey and Anna, discussing how to put our center together. Danielle was nearby organizing the arts and crafts materials that she and Anna had been working tirelessly to create. Then Alexia made her move. "Don't you guys think Danielle should be in charge of the food?" Alexia said loud enough for Danielle to hear. I braced myself for what was coming next. I mean, just look at her. She's so fat, she must be good with food. Danielle hurried out of the room. None of us said or did anything. It was as if we thought pretending nothing had happened, it would make everything better. It didn't. My turn to be heard came next. Alexia didn't spare me. Act 4, Scene 3. Jeffrey and I decided that making a trivia game about Ramadan was the perfect way for people to learn about our holiday and what we'd researched. It took loads of work. We had just finished writing all our research as questions on the trivia cards. Enter Alexia. She must have just come from the bathroom. She wore fresh, shiny lip gloss and chewed on a new piece of gum. She paraded over to us with an exaggerated hip motion of her jean skirt and zebra tights, bent over, and grabbed some of the trivia cards. She looked them over, but I don't think she read any of them. She snapped her gun that she wasn't supposed to have. Like, nobody's gonna understand these questions. She stared right at me. Nobody ever understands you, not with all your stuck-up words. Like, you just want to make everyone else feel stupid. You think you're so smart? She flicked the card at me. That wasn't true. I didn't try to do that. Act 4, Scene 4. Enter Mr. Terupt. Alexia. I didn't look up. I didn't even know he was there. Alexia didn't either. She spun around, alarmed. I think it's time for you to follow me. He escorted her out of the room. They were gone for a while. Act 4, Scene 5. Enter Mr. Terupt without Alexia. Where was she? I need to talk to the four of you now, he said, looking at Jeffrey, Danielle, Anna, and me. We sat down in our project area. I've watched Alexia be unpleasant to all of you. I hoped that one of you was going to stand up to her and tell her to stop. You didn't. I looked down. I knew I should have done something. I wasn't strong like the friend in my books. If you let people get away with being mean, they're going to keep being mean. You need to stick up for each other. Even Alexia isn't tough enough to make fun of you. Not if all four of you stick together. I could feel Mr. Terupt's eyes on me. He leaned forward, trying to peer up into my face. He tried to make eye contact with each of us. We all stared at the floor. You should be disappointed, he said. You should stand by each other. That's what being friends is all about. Still we sat quiet. Anna wiped her eyes. So did Danielle. Don't sit and pout, Mr. Terupt said. That won't help anything. You need to keep working. Learn from this and don't make the same mistake again. Exit Mr. Terupt. Act 4, Scene 6. What was Jeffrey thinking, I wondered. What were Danielle and Anna feeling? I'm never talking to Alexia again, Danielle said. Me neither, Anna added. That's no better, I said. We don't have to be friends with her, but we can't shut her out. We have to be bigger people. I looked down again. I felt as disappointed in myself as Mr. Terupt did in all of us. I wasn't brave enough.